Jacob's story is a compelling journey, marked by faith in God, deception, and redemption, whose echo still resonates today. In a world where cunning sometimes seems to prevail over honesty, Jacob's life confronts us with complex realities about human nature and the divine plan. Have you ever wondered how the Lord can use imperfect individuals to accomplish His purposes? Prepare for a narrative that will challenge your notions of justice and grace as we trace the surprising origins of a chosen people. In Genesis 25:21, we are introduced to a couple in distress. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife, who was unable to have children. The Lord answered his prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant. In those times, barrenness was perceived as a curse, and Rebekah bore this burden for 20 long years. Imagine the despair that must have filled the hearts of this couple, heirs to the promises made to Abraham, yet unable to produce an heir. The divine answer to Isaac's prayer came with complications. Genesis 25:22-23 reports that the children jostled within her, and she exclaimed, "Why is this happening to me?" She then went to inquire of the Lord, who declared to her, "2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you will be separated. 1 people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." This pregnancy foreshadowed the conflict that would mark not only the lives of her sons, but also that of entire nations. The divine prophecy overturned the natural order. The elder would be subjected to the younger. From the womb, God was establishing a pattern that defied human conventions. The account of the birth in Genesis 25:24-26 is among the most dramatic. When the time came, she gave birth to twins. The first came out red and covered with hair. He was named Esau. His brother came next, grasping Esau's heel. He was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. The contrast between the twins was evident from the start. Esau, the firstborn, red and hairy, foreshadowed his robust and impulsive nature. Jacob, on the other hand, was born grasping his brother's heel, a prophetic gesture of his perseverance and determined character. As they grew, their differences became more pronounced. Genesis 25:27-28 describes Esau as a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob led a more settled existence, preferring the setting of the tents. Isaac, who had a taste for game, favored Esau, but Rebekah was particularly fond of Jacob. Esau embodied the masculine ideal of the time, strong, independent, skilled in hunting. Jacob, more reserved, was content with the intimacy of the home. This divergence was reflected in parental preferences, sowing the seeds of a discord destined to grow, a timeless lesson on the risks of treating children unequally. An incident that seemed minor was to have profound consequences. Genesis 25:29-34 recounts that one day Jacob was preparing stew when Esau came in from the field, exhausted. He said to him, "Let me gulp down some of that red stuff, I'm exhausted." Hence his other name, Edom. Jacob replied, "First sell me your birthright." Esau retorted, "I'm about to die. What good is the birthright to me?" Jacob insisted, "Swear to me first." So he swore to him, and Jacob gave him bread and lentil stew. After eating and drinking, Esau left, thus showing that he despised his birthright. This episode speaks volumes about the character of the 2 brothers. Esau, impulsive and governed by his immediate appetites, agreed to trade his birthright, a position of honor and responsibility, for a simple meal. His exaggerated claim of being about to die reveals his inclination for instant gratification. Jacob, for his part, demonstrated calculated shrewdness. He perceived an opportunity and seized it, exploiting his brother's weakness for his own benefit. Although his actions may seem questionable, they show a keen awareness of the birthright's value and a determination to obtain it at any cost. This exchange symbolized Esau's recklessness and Jacob's opportunistic nature. The biblical text does not offer an explicit moral judgment on Jacob's actions at this stage, but the subsequent narrative will show how this decision influenced the destiny of the two brothers and their descendants. The implications were considerable. The birthright concerned not only a material inheritance, but also involved spiritual blessings and the responsibility of leading the family. By despising it, Esau demonstrated a lack of vision and esteem for the divine promises made to his ancestors. For Jacob, acquiring this right was only the first step toward the fulfillment of God's designs. Although his methods were debatable, his determination to obtain divine favor would be a recurring theme in his existence. This episode paves the way for future events. Jacob's cunning and tenacity would lead him to great destinies, but also place him in perilous situations. His story reminds us that the Lord can use even our flaws and imperfections to accomplish his higher purposes. The rest of the story shows how Jacob, urged by his mother Rebekah, obtained Isaac's blessing in place of Esau, provoking the latter's anger. Forced into exile, Jacob left for Haran, where he worked for his uncle Laban, married Leah and Rachel after 7 years of labor, and became the father of numerous progeny. Despite Laban's tricks, Jacob prospered and eventually returned to his own country. It was upon his return that one of the most striking episodes of his life occurred, his struggle with an angel at the ford of Jabbok. This nocturnal confrontation resulted in a profound transformation. Jacob received the name Israel, meaning he who struggles with God. Although injured in the hip, he emerged from this ordeal blessed and changed. The long-dreaded meeting with Esau ultimately proved peaceful. The two brothers were reconciled and went their separate ways. Afterwards, Jacob settled in Canaan, where he experienced moments of joy but also great trials, such as the disappearance of his son Joseph, whom he believed dead. Years later, a famine forced Jacob's family to go to Egypt, where Joseph, now a viceroy, was alive. The reunion was emotional, and Jacob spent his final years in peace surrounded by his family. Before passing away, he blessed each of his sons and asked to be buried in the family tomb in Canaan. Alongside his ancestors, Jacob's story teaches us that our lives, with their ups and downs, can be integrated into a grander plan. His struggles, his mistakes, and his transformation illustrate the possibility of growth and redemption, regardless of our past. If this account has intrigued or touched you, why not share it around you? Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming studies on biblical characters and the life lessons they offer us. Remember, as with Jacob, God can act in your existence, guiding you through your own struggles toward an unsuspected destiny. See you soon for new discoveries.